Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another edition of News in Motion. Today is Tuesday, October 3rd, 2023. And today it is Talk About It Tuesday. No, we are not having the young people on, but it is still Talk About It Tuesday. So be sure to have your opinions, your thoughts ready in the chat for this morning's podcast. If you are catching the replay, whether it is in the afternoon, the evening, or in the nighttime, we just want to say thank you for all of your support for our audio and podcast listeners. Thank you for listening in to the NIM Media Today. Thank you for listening to MIM Media Today. Whether you are tuning in through Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, any streaming platform of ours, we just want to say thank you for tuning in as well. How has everybody's week been so far? I know we're only 2 days into the week, 3 days into October, but how is everyone doing today? Please let us know in the chat. I see you, Miss Adrian, who's tuning in through YouTube. Good morning, Miss Tracy Newmy, who is tuning in through YouTube as well. Good morning, Latrice Jones, who's tuning in through Facebook. How is everyone's Tuesday? How has everybody's week been? It is Talk About It Tuesday. Again, we do not have the young people on, but it is still Talk About It Tuesday. It's still Well Spoken Wednesday. It can still be Throwback Thursday. Let us know if you missed those. Let us know if you want the young people to come back and on a News in Motion podcast and just drop that in every once in a while. Good morning, Camille Jones, who is tuning in through Facebook. Good morning, Miss Kim Edmondson, tuning in through YouTube. And good morning, Miss Karen Leslie, who is tuning in through Facebook as well. So, without further delay, y'all know what we do over here. Let's get ready for some News in Motion.
News in Motion.
It's amazing. I love that music. I love the music, and I'm so glad I was patient enough with the team to be like, no, that's not it. That's not it. And when and I see him on here, actually, I just saw his name pop up when Bishop Pastor Brother Timothy Carpenter came back with that one. It was like, that's a wrap. That's a wrap. And I know Adrian absolutely loves the music. She always putting in the chat the different scores. It's just amazing. It's amazing. So good morning, everyone. I'm going to pick up where Isaiah left off. Deborah Johnston, good morning to you. Adrian is saying it's a busy week. Lori Wallace says, good morning, everyone. So good morning to you, Lori. Latrice Jones got the dancing people in it. That music is just fire, for real. So I did see Lori Wallace last Friday. And she's going to choreograph this dance, like a line dance type thing for that intro right there. And we're going to put it out here. We're going to have a video. We're going to put it out here. And then we want all of you to go to social media and make up your own way of how you're going to move with that music. It's just amazing. It's just amazing. So I'm really excited. But I see you, Marianne Jackson, and I see my brother, Lewis Pryor III, Timothy Carpenter, Bishop Pastor Brother. He says, how cool. Look, we're going to have fun with that. And then I can't think. Yvonne Gardner with her young people. They're going to do something too. So this is going to be fun. We're going into the holidays. We're just going to have fun. All right, y'all. We have a lot of news. We have a lot of news. And I hope you're ready for some news because there's a lot of it. So let's just dive in right now. Let's see. Adrian says homecoming week at OSU. She works up there. Just side note, I went up to have lunch with her. And I ended up behind the Union at The Ohio State University. I didn't mean to turn there. And that was the worst thing I could have ever done. I was stuck back there behind the Union. And then the other thing is that there's robots everywhere. we're like taking over. They just you just sit there and people. I'm like, what is that? How do I get out of here? So I finally made it out of there so that we could have lunch that day. But it was just crazy up there. I see you, Mike Nicholson. Good morning to you, and good morning, Jacqueline. All right, y'all. Let's get ready for these headlines on Tuesday, October the 3rd. Just because of the ops. Let's start here. The former guy, Junior, Ivanka, Eric, were all in attendance on day one. Yet the trial started yesterday. Donald Trump made his court appearance in this massive civil fraud trial in New York, along with his children and various other people, leaders, executives in this Trump organization. They are also defendants in the suit, which is being brought against to them by none other than AG Leticia James, a Black woman. The AG office has accused the former guy and his close allies of years of fraud, as well as an overestimating their wealth and financial investments, and that they're seeking $250 million in severe sanctions on the defendants, which would make it almost impossible for them to do business in the state where there's at. So yesterday, both sides presented their opening arguments. The attorneys kind of went at it for a moment. They were talking about, his attorneys like, there's no intent to defraud. Yeah, there was. Y'all making up numbers to stay in the game. Sit down somewhere. So, of course, he never keeps his mouth closed. So what does he do? He goes out, he speaks to the press, and he says, what we have here is an attempt to hurt me in this election. Dude, it's really not about you. It really isn't. It's about the American people. He says, I don't think the people of this country are going to stand for it. Guess what? You are in the wrong. You get with some real attorneys. And get with some people who's going to tell you to keep your mouth closed. And also get with some people, surround yourself with some people who are going to say, this isn't federal, this is state. So the American people have nothing to do with this right here. You might want to talk to the New Yorkers and see what they have to say. So, and the judge, he's like, we're not going to do all this. We're not going to do it. So, we'll see how this all plays out. But let's travel from New York to DC. I told y'all this was going to happen. Look, in one corner we have Representative Matt Gaetz, and in the other corner we have Speaker Kevin McCarthy. Let the fight begin, or shall I say continue. Y'all, the Washington Post was the first to report this. Representative Matt Gaetz, Republican Florida, introduced a resolution on Monday evening to remove Speaker Kevin McCarthy from his seat, triggering this whole intra-party clash setting showdown. Look, just give me the ticket so I can sit by the television, stream it live so we can see how this is about to work out. As I shared with y'all yesterday, this has to be done in 48 hours, and the clock started yesterday evening. Y'all, Gaetz and a handful of right-wing Republicans have repeatedly threatened McCarthy's speakership. Now, Matt Gaetz has been in the forefront doing all of this, and he relied on the Democrats to get this vote passed on Saturday to prevent the shutdown. Okay, now the Democrats aren't 100% behind McCarthy because he didn't even give them enough time to read this stopgap measure, but they were like, whatever, let's go. You got in here what we want. We still have payments going forth. So we're going to keep cool, keep doing it. Mike Nicholson says the attorneys tell them to keep his mouth closed, but he just won't do it. Listen, we can't even talk about that former guy anymore. So Matt Gaetz and McCarthy, and McCarthy's like, do it. Just go on and do it. Latrice Jones says, get in my popcorn and watch this play out. Listen, can I tell y'all something? I just want to be on the floor. It's like, can I get my day pass? Can I use my press pass? Because I have one for the White House. Can I use that and just sit up there? Now, I have it for the White House side, so that's the press room. Can I get one to transfer over to the U.S. Capitol building? Because I just want to be in the room. Yes, Dr. Antoinette, popcorn and M&Ms, because this is about to go down. It's crazy. It's crazy. So now, McCarthy, he needed some Democrats to help pass this bill, and he got it. So to me, that's good leadership, that's speakership. He got some stuff he needs to deal with. Yes, Adrian, messy, just drama is all that. But he got it done. Well, Matt Gaetz is like, I'm not having this. I'm not having this. We told you not to do any bills with the Democrats, which is crazy within itself, okay? Because the number is 221 to 212. That's the Republicans and Democrats, and 2 vacancies. So that makes up your 435. Y'all remember that number, right? You need 435. So 221, 212. That's a very close margin. I told y'all at the end of 2022, I said the vote came out and it shrunk the margin, which is going to create some gridlock. So you need each other, which is really the most beautiful picture to have. You need that. So he did what he needed to do, made some deals, so forth, got the bill passed. Matt Gaetz, let's talk about people still having their jobs. Now, again, as I said yesterday, I'm not real happy about it. Why did y'all do 45 days? Why couldn't y'all do 95 days, 120 days? Why are you doing this? You're coming back. It's either the 14th or the 17th of November, right before the holidays, where people have to decide, am I going to have Thanksgiving meal? Can I have people over? Can I go travel to see grandma's house? Can I go get some gingerbread? Can I get some sweet potato pie? Can I get the greens with the ham hock in there? Ooh, that sounds so good. The mac and cheese, whatever I need. Will I be able to serve that? Can I get the children some pajamas for Christmas? Why'd you do this to you, the people? And we're talking millions of people, Matt Gaetz. You think you would want the people to pass the bill so that the government can continue. But no, it's all about you. So voters, pay attention. Pay attention to what's going on. I'm not done, y'all. So members of the Republican Party, they wanted this all to vote different. This is the House, the Freedom House Caucus. They didn't want any of this. So now it's not clear that Gaetz is going to get he needs 218 votes. He's not going to get that. Out of the 221 Republicans that they have, he's not going to get that because you have staunch supporters of Kevin McCarthy. So he needs 218 votes. He's going to need to rely on some Democrats to help him get to 218. That's not going to happen. Even AOC said, we ain't about to do that. So y'all, let's talk about the whip. Let's talk about the minority whip. Y'all know I love this. Y'all love this. I love this. So the minority whip, let everybody know, put them on notice in the Democratic Party and said, listen, there's a vote that's coming down on Monday. And as it happened, it did go forward. And she said, just be ready because it's going to trigger a vote. Now, she did not tell them how to vote, but they're having conversations. So we also have the minority speaker, Hakeem Jeffries, who's saying, just hold on. We got to see what's going on. Now, here's an opportunity. Y'all want to talk about some politics right here. Here's an opportunity for some serious negotiation to take place. They can say to him, all right, put your crane back in there. Okay, if we do that, we want some other gap measures. We want some this over there. We want some of that over there. They have an opportunity to do some serious negotiation. The question is, will they help him? Will they helped him Saturday, but will they help him again? So what's happening that there's an internal civil war that's about to take place. Listen, y'all, the efforts could really be disastrous for inside that house, those House chambers. I just want to be on the floor. I want to be on the floor. So you also have, back to the whip. Her name is Catherine Clark out of Massachusetts. She is ready to whip up whatever votes that need to be whipped. Now, y'all know, as I talked to y'all about 2 years ago, when you're whipping up votes, regardless of what side you're on, there's a whip. There's a minority whip and a majority whip. They whip up votes to pass things. When you're whipping up votes, have you ever watched House of Cards? And they took it off because of some stuff that happened, but that's the best show. Just go back and watch it. It's on Netflix. And no, I'm not an affiliate with Netflix, but just watch it. Although it's a crazy show, and by the way, it's rated R, maybe even X in some cases. Okay, so watch who you're watching it with. But if you can sit down and watch it, it's phenomenal. They whip up, and it's really, it mirrors what happens. They're making deals. Vote this way. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. And that's never really public. But they're whip. Why would they have a whip if they weren't negotiating something? So something is happening. Tracy Newman says, very messy. Adrian says, play chess, Dims, play chess. What's up, Diane, Ladybug? Dr. Antoinette said, thank you. Send me my, listen, y'all, there's a whole lot going on there. So He has 48 hours. The clock started yesterday when he put the motion on the floor. So 48 hours. There's just going to be chaos in the House today because they're trying to work this out. So what would you give up? I want y'all to think about this for a moment. What would you give up? What would you give up? Now, pay attention to this. Never in the House of Representatives has a speaker been removed. Never. Latrice Jones says there's always deals being made. Always. Just remember that. Always deals. So here are some possibilities of things that's going to happen with chaos in the House. Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Legislative gridlock. It's just bills and important policies and initiatives may not progress. They may not even get passed until all this stuff goes away. Loss of public trust. I think we've already been there. International implications. The world knows this is happening right now in the House of Representatives. The entire world knows. So there could be some things there. Economic impact. We already in an inflation thing. We have the Federal Reserve trying to decide if they're going to go up another point or not, or just leave everything be. The stock market is wonky. Just all kinds of stuff's going on. Policy stalemate, constitutional crisis, increased partisanship. Well, already partisanship, but it's going to make it worse. Impact on elections. Y'all, is it not interesting that this is happening right before the November 7th elections? That's happening all over, whether you consider them small or large, but every election is important. And then this takes us into the primaries in March 2024. Yeah, this, like, what's really going on here? Calls for reform and social unrest. This is all happening in the House of Chaos. It's happening. Now get this. That's the Republican side. Well, now there's this. We have in the House of Chaos, and HuffPost was the first to report this, Representative Dean Phillips, age 54, announced on Sunday that he will step down from the Democratic leadership role as rumors continue to swirl about him just deciding if he's going to run against Joe Biden in 2024. He don't have no money. He already said he can't even position himself to do that. But his whole thing is, I told President Biden that I didn't want him to run again. Well, who are you? Like, do we even know who you are? What exactly do you do? And we hear, because they came for you. You have no money to run. So what's really going on? So a spokesperson for Dean Phillips said the 3-term congressman will be stepping down in his role as co-chairman because of all of the Democratic caucus and all the chaos that's happening behind his strong feelings that he wants young people to lead and take the lead and to do all these things. And Joe Biden is just too old. And although he thinks he's a good man, he has integrity, and he served well during his time, and he's made the world a better place over the past 2 years. He just feels he needs to step in and run against him. What? Make that make sense. So Axios, they were having a podcast with him, and we're all trying to figure out, dude, what are you doing? What exactly are you doing? So hello, whip. So the whips come out and like, if you don't sit down somewhere, we've already signed pages saying that we're not going to run against the president. What are you talking about? So I guess the heat was on, so he removed himself from the co-chair position, because they're like, dude, you can't do this. You can't. So they're fighting. The Republicans are fighting. The world is just in chaos. Yes. It's in chaos. So let's talk about infighting when it comes to both parties. It will reduce party unity. It will diminish effectiveness. Nobody can do anything because nobody's trusting anybody. And by the way, we still have George, whatever his name. I don't even think his name is George. His other name came out. I shared that with y'all several months ago. He's still in here. He's running again. He's probably laughing at everybody like, come on, I'm not the only one. Well, why is he still sitting in the chamber? Let's talk about that. So that's happening. Leadership challenges, public perception. This is a reality comedy show at this point for us. policy compromises, primary challenges, media attention. The media is not sure who to put their camera on right now. Impact on legislation. The infighting can delay or even derail the passage of important legislation. Y'all, I spent all day yesterday going through, pulling out all the possibilities, trying to connect the dots and get an understanding so I could share this with all of you. This is what's happening. These are the people we voted into office. These are the people we're paying $174,000 a year, plus all their benefits, health. They don't pay a dime for health. Plus help with their mortgage, their rent, and they have more than one place to live. Their homes, their drivers, their chefs, their nannies, this, that, and the other. We're paying for it. And this is what we have. This is what's happening right now. Opportunities for opposition and party reform. It's just crazy. So now we have both parties in a fight. Now that's what's happening in the house. Let's talk about what's on the field. So in the campaign, y'all, this is literally America right now. Republican presidential candidate Nikki Haley, she accused Donald Trump's campaign of sending a bird cage complete with a note that read from the Trump campaign to her hotel room. What? How did they know where you were staying? What, you have Secret Service at this point. How did it get to the outside of your hotel room? Who put it there? Yeah, so she did a tweet yesterday, and she said, or on Sunday, she said, after the day of campaigning, this is the message waiting for me outside my hotel room. She puts hashtag pretty pathetic. Try again. Hashtag you just made my case for me. Well, they really did. Now, y'all, the bird cage is a apparent reference to a pair of posts shared on Truth Social by who? Donald Trump, who referred to his former ambassador. She worked for you to the United Nations as the bird brain. This is what we're doing. So, y'all, he's the bully on the field, and y'all vote for him. Make it make sense. Somebody, please make it make sense. But my question is, how? Yes, Latrice Jones, I gotta ask the questions, right? The question is, how they know where you stand? Where's your security? Where's your Secret Service people? How did it get outside your room door? Make it make sense. Somebody, please make it make sense. So we have chaos in the house. We have, I don't know what you want to call it out there in the field. And these are the people that they're running the country right now. Like, seriously, trust me. I don't care if Joe Biden was 95 at this point. He brings just a sense of calmness to the world. It's like, can you help us? Can somebody help us? Please, can somebody help us? By the way, in all of this chaos, in case you have not heard, mark your calendars right now for October the 4th in the afternoon. This week, FEMA is expected to conduct a nationwide test of its emergency notification system. Your phone will not work for 30 minutes on October the 4th in the afternoon. That's tomorrow, right? So tomorrow, your phone will not work for 30 minutes. So the nationwide test is expected to happen on Wednesday between 1:20 and 1:50 Central Time, 2:20, 2:50 Eastern Time, 11:20, 11:50 a.m. Pacific Time. So you have 1:20 to 1:50 p.m. Central, 2:20 to 2:50 p.m. Eastern, and 11:20 to 11:50 a.m. Specific Time. Now, the purpose of the test is to assess the effectiveness of FEMA's emergency alert system and wireless emergency alerts. Well, they want to put this out here because we got floods. I don't know if Noah's Ark is coming or what. Now, I told y'all about New York yesterday. Did y'all know how many people that hit? 1.3 million people. They said it would not stop raining. It was downpours for 24 hours. Did y'all forget the floods that happened over there in Atlanta a couple weeks ago? Kind of flooded out Morehouse and Clark Atlanta University and others. Y'all, it's floods. It's I don't know. I don't know if we're going to get a tsunami, if we're going to get a blizzard. We don't know what's happening. Like, it is happening. So they're doing this. So your phone will not work. So if you grab your phone during that time of rain, like, what's happening? It's not working. Now, I kind of have a challenge with this. Like, could y'all do this in a rolling thing like y'all do with our electric, and all of a sudden we wake up and there's no electric? Because you just made an announcement that we're not going to have phones for 30 minutes. Is that smart? Like, what would people do? Like, seriously. Like, anyone who has an electric car, your car ain't going nowhere because your phone's not going to be working. So it's just really interesting what's happening here. Yeah. What's up, Amber? So, y'all, that's happening. So, all cell phones, let me give this to y'all. I want to give y'all the entire alert. All cell phones will receive a message only once. So, at some point between today and tomorrow, you're going to receive a message, because they have to send you a message to tell you. But here on News in Motion, we wanted to forewarn you. The following can be expected from the nationwide test. Beginning approximately, again, the time is 1:20 Central, 2:20 Eastern, 11:20 Pacific time. Cell towers will broadcast the test for approximately 30 minutes. Now that says approximately, so it could be longer. During this time, WEA capable wireless phones that are switched on within a range of active cell towers and those wireless providers participates in WEA should be capable of receiving the test message. So you'll receive the test message. For consumers, the message that appear on their phone will read, "This is a test of the National Wireless Emergency Alert System." And they say, it's going to say no action is needed. Like, don't go run for cover. Don't go to your basement. Don't go get underneath your car. They're just going to say, this is a test. Okay. So y'all just pause for a moment. We need to start preparing for, we need to go back to COVID, the rules I was giving y'all back in COVID, back in 2020. We just need to stock up and be prepared. We don't know what's happening. So y'all, the phones with the main menu in Spanish. This is very important. And if my daughter was on here, she could speak to you in Spanish if we have any Spanish listeners here, but hopefully you can hit the translator and hear it that way. They will receive their message in Spanish. It does not speak to any other language. So if you know anyone who needs this information, Latrice Jones, you with the school systems, let people know that this is about to happen. I just think it's really crazy that this is happening all at once. So all across America, our phones aren't going to be working. Why? Y'all better keep them landlines. How about that? Everybody needs to have one phone in their house that's a landline, or in the office. You're welcome, Kim Edmondson. That's what I'm here for. Let's see. Latrice Jones says, on another note, can we get 30-minute credit from our cell phone providers because of this outage? Great question. Hey, look, by the way, those of you who had Spectrum, when they took away ESPN and all that, because they were in their fight, you could get a credit for that too. All you got to do is ask somebody, because we didn't have it for how many days? Like, give me all those channels back and give me that credit back for that. So there's that. Latrice Jones says they have a landline. Well, everybody over to Latrice Jones' house. All right, y'all, how much time do I have? Because I got more to tell y'all. Listen, Spirit Airlines. This woman by the name of Campbell and her husband were flying back from Michigan on Spirit Airlines in May from Jamaica, with a stop over Philadelphia. This is coming from Folders Travel. She discovered that her bag didn't make it, okay, for a connecting flight. So she said in her court filing that the bag was delivered to her home the next day, which is all well and good, but she discovered that it was damaged and more than $10,000 worth of luxury goods were missing. She filed a claim for a financial loss, she alleged, at $14,208.30. Girl, what you putting in that bag? First of all, now, there's rules and regulations, okay? First of all, you have no custom forms completed saying you bought that much, okay? And now you might have taken that with you, because they say she took some pictures in her luggage, but it doesn't show where she took the pictures. If she took the pictures in America or if she took the picture somewhere else. They don't know. So they filed this complaint. And there was Louis Vuitton, Gucci, Rolex, all this. You got a Rolex in your luggage. I'm not saying I don't believe you, but why would you do that? You put your Rolex in your purse. You put your Rolex on your arm because you want everybody to see it. You put your Rolex where nobody can snatch it out of there, because they do go through a camera-like thing. So anyway, so Spirit Airlines has filed a motion, which I kind of, if you know something about this, you get it. Remove the case from the 36th District Court for the county of Wayne, Michigan. and moved it to the United States District Court for the Eastern District of Michigan, the Southern Division. Now, the reason is because they flew from Jamaica to the United States. That's considered, of course, an international flight, and they're covered under the Montreal Convention. Girl, did you know what you're doing? Because now it's somewhere else, okay? So the plaintiff claims, that the fall within the scope and all of that. Okay, so Spirit Airlines said, we ain't take nothing. We ain't take nothing. So the U.S. and now the UK, because of Montreal, United Kingdom, all of that stuff they got going on there, the Department of Transportation, they come back and they say, well, you can only really get $1,700. Because these are the rules, and we see no custom form completed for $14,000 plus. We don't see that. She took pictures again. She put it out there. So we don't know what's going to happen with all this. Now, I'm going to give y'all the link later so y'all can read the whole story for yourself. But a couple of things come to my mind. Number one, airline people know if it's an international flight, it's going somewhere else. So did they take it? Did they remove anything? We don't know. Did she have all that in there? We don't know. Should you pack that way? No, you shouldn't. You shouldn't. So they were saying that you should technically ship things like that in a box, which is going to cost you more, but you still won't get that much back. That you should really get other insurance to cover these items. Now, but Dr. Antoinette says, no judgment, but question. Flying Spirit Airlines is over 14K stuff. My question too, Felicia Williams said $14,000 on Spirit. It's not making sense, right? Y'all make it make sense. That's why I wanted to share this with y'all. It's just, y'all, this is the news today. This is the news. So I'm just curious, what would you do? What are you thinking? I see you're already putting it in here. Lori Wallace says, if you have that kind of stuff in your luggage, you'll have a lock on it. Did she? Well, now you remember with TSA, you can only do certain locks. Okay. So maybe she didn't have that kind of lock. And then she goes, what was broken? You shipped that separately. That's a good question. Now, y'all, speaking of airlines, and I've read this story probably 40 times, for real, y'all. I read it on every platform I could find it. I did a Google search to get more information. I want y'all to Google this too. Don't take my word for it. And I was like, I really don't want to share this story because I don't believe it. But everything points to it being true, including with United Airlines. So there's truth to it. All right, y'all. So United Airlines, this is coming from Bloomberg, y'all. They're the first people to report it, so I'm giving them the credit for this. United Airlines had a report done by a company called Jefferies that estimated that the airline could save $80 million a year in fuel costs if the average passenger's weight fell by 10 pounds. I was like, what? So I kept reading it. They were saying they can save $80 million if every passenger on their flights over the past however many years they did this research, if we all drop 10 pounds. So I'm like reading this like, okay. So they said fuel, and I'm giving this a direct quote because I can't make this up. Fuel is one of the top costs for airlines, and the lighter the planes, the less fuel they need to burn. Okay. And they said that's why airlines such as United Airlines have, you no longer see the magazines behind the seat back covers. They got rid of those, trying to save the money on the fuel. They said they're giving you like real light plastic utensils, which they do when they break. So that doesn't even work because you might have another lawsuit, somebody biting in on something, and then the plastic go down their throat and cause them to choke or something. So that doesn't work either since we're talking about it. They're changing the beverage sizes to, not big cans now. They're smaller cans. They're trying to get rid of the weight. So I didn't make this up. I didn't, and I'm still like hesitant to share this, but I gotta share this with y'all. They were talking about Ozempic. The medication that's used for diabetes. They're talking about, it's a weight loss drug. So maybe they'll offer this to their passengers 14 days before they fly. Y'all, seriously, I'm like, what? So y'all, I'm gonna see if I can pull this link up so I can share it with y'all. And it's not letting me share, but I'm gonna get it in it. But come back to the thing Yeah, it's the national news for Bloomberg Aviation, and it talks about how weight loss medicines could save airlines millions. We're doing, have we lost our minds? Like, what's in those shots for real, y'all? What's in those shots? What's in those COVID shots we took? And by the way, y'all, and I don't want to hear nothing from you Samsung people. Y'all, the Apple has they're in the process of fixing their overheating iPhones. The earlier people who have it, you know, they're like, this phone is hot, it's burning my hand. What's happening? Apple said its newest iPhones are getting hot to the touch in the first few days out of the package. And this is all confirmed by consumer complaints and those who have gone saying, give me another phone. Hold on, Lori, I'm gonna get that in a minute. And they say that Apple is said that overheating results from iPhone 15 working overtime to download user data and a bug that is new iOS 17 software. In its new iOS 17 software, the company said it's also working on fixing bugs with app developers, including Uber and Instagram. So Uber and Instagram are the ones that's causing the craziness. Again, I don't want to hear a word from you Samsung people. Apple is the stuff, okay? And it's okay that we have a bug and we're going to fix the bug and they're going to fix all of that, okay? So we don't want to hear it. The phone is better, it connects, it syncs well, it's clear, it's all of that. So, and no, I'm not an affiliate with Apple. I just have everything Apple. I just think it's easy. It's the bomb.com. Kim Edmondson, I don't want to hear word. We get blue bubbles. We can have instant messages. Y'all get the green. When y'all come into a group, y'all mess up our flow all the time. So we will fix this overheating. We will fix this bug and we're going to be okay. Lori Wallace, back to you, says if she purchased it, she should have receipts. Well, I guess she does have some receipts, but the thing is, was in her luggage. Y'all need, I'm going to put that article on. Y'all need y'all to read that whole thing. Marianne says, I just dropped 20 pounds, so I'm good to go to travel. And then Dr. Antoinette said, androids work without crazy. Whatever. Kim says, we don't have these problems with Samsung. What? I told y'all I didn't want to hear from y'all. What's up, Rodessa? Rodessa says, Grand Rising loves. Good to see you, Rodessa. Glad that you were able to hang out with us. All right, y'all, the inspirational message, and we're out of here. We're out of here. I'm still in Mark 10. I am still in. I can't get out of Mark. I can't get out of Mark. I've been in Mark since the summer. Y'all, when you mature and grow, you read the word again, it's different. It comes out different. Kim, you know I can't say that online because they would like shut us down. But y'all need to read Kim Edmondson's comment. Karen said, y'all drank the apple Kool-Aid, and this is so good. It is sweet to the taste, all of that. So there. All right, y'all, and Mark, I was reading this. And although this passage is really talking about divorce, there's so much more in here. And I was in Mark 10, verse 1, and it talks about, again, the crowds of people came to him, and as was his custom, he taught them. So what jumped out of me was that the people came to him. He didn't go to people. We ain't go out to evangelize like that. They came to him. Their teacher was in town. They was going to hear the word. And by the way, it was free. I don't know why I said that, but it was free. Anyway, so I made my own note here and said, wow, all we have to do is go to him. He'll teach us. Now, again, this message is about divorce, but I saw something so simple yet powerful and life-altering. By the way, y'all, these are all my notes. Okay, I don't know if y'all can see. I'm filling this thing up. Where is it? I'm filling this thing up with Mark. It's just crazy. So it's all about how we bring ourselves to the table and eat. Hold on. Don't anybody shout yet. We keep waiting for people to invite us to the table. Well, at Jesus's table, we can just go. And when we go, we need to go hungry enough to eat and to receive what he has for us. We don't need to be picking on the plate like, I don't eat peas. We can't be like, I don't eat love thy neighbor. You either love your neighbor or you don't. Okay. We can't go to the table on the plate and go, no, I don't like her. I don't want to sit next to her. You either sit down and receive the word or you don't. It's not about going to the table saying, I don't drink this. You either drink the milk or you don't. You either put honey on your stuff or you don't. You have a choice. You even have a choice if you go to the table or not. You can go or don't go. You can go and be fed and go and glean and go or learn, or you don't. Nobody's forcing you to do this. But there's so many people seeking answers in this season. What we have to do is just pull up a chair, go to the table, and eat what he has. 5 minutes a day. And this is, I'm just telling y'all this, and I read God's word a lot. But I took a further step and said, I'm not going to just sit down and read like the whole chapter and pray and going about my business. I changed it. Now, this is different than my study time that I have all the time. But this is a daily thing. When I first get up, I used to first get up and check the news and see if there's any alerts. Nope. I get up, check with Jesus. Jesus, what alerts do you have for me today? What do you have me to seek today? How am I going to move about today? What does that look like? And how does that align with what you have for me today? And then I go and sit down. I'm telling you, I've been in Mark forever. And it's like he only allows me to read just a couple of scriptures. And it's like 2 or 3. Sometimes it's 1. And it's like, read that again. And then all of a sudden it jumps out at me. So that's what I want y'all to do today. Start looking at this differently. Start looking at it differently. Y'all are still on the Samsung. Jacqueline says, at his table, we all eat and we are well fed. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. All right, y'all. I know y'all sick of me today. Kim says we already have a reservation. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Our name is on the book. It's on the book. All we got to do is show up. Don't cancel the reservation. All right, y'all. Again, I know y'all sick of me today, but y'all know this was some stuff we need to talk about. There's chaos in the house. So if nothing more, pray about the chaos that it will settle today. All right, y'all. We're out of here. Continue to make bold moves. Keep on moving, and remember to live your life in abundance. We're out.
News in motion.